Myths are these false ideas that on the outside seem to be answering some very intriguing questions, and that is why they are spread so quickly from person to person, and over the course of time they get well established as facts among people. The problem of myths has always been there in our society, but with WhatsApp and other forms of social media into play, the problem has really been amplified because the speed of the spread of these rumors and myths have really been increased over time. Hey folks, I am Anas Zafar, a second year medical student. Today I'll be debunking 5 popular medical myths that I guarantee you might have heard at some point in your life. So let's get going. So the first one, vaccine causes flu and autism.
Vaccines cause autism. We do not want our children experimented upon.
Now thankfully this myth is not that popular in India, but more and more people sadly are starting to believe this myth in the West. Vaccine does contain viruses, but they are dead viruses. Think of it in this way. When you give someone a vaccine, you kind of train your body to fight against the virus in a way that you show your body a dummy virus, and you will tell your body that this kind of virus can harm you in the future. So your body trains to fight against these dummy viruses, which actually resemble real viruses that can harm you in the future. So when you get infected by a virus in the future, you will be protected because your body already knows how to fight against it. So a vaccine does not cause flu, it prevents flu. Coming to the autism part, vaccine again obviously do not cause autism, and this was a myth that was started in 1998 when parents of 8 children with autism complained that their children got autism because they took a vaccine, MMR vaccine. And since then this myth has really been propagated on a very large scale. The big problem with this myth is that parents are not getting their children vaccinated, and this will put their own children at risk and other people also at risk. Many studies are being conducted just to prove that these vaccines do not cause autism, and a lot of money is being wasted on those studies. For example, a study published in the England Journal of Medicine in 2002 studied over 500,000 vaccinated children and did not find any link between vaccines and autism. We use only 10% of our brains.
What would happen if somebody unlocked 100% of the cerebral capacity?
100%?
Yes?
Now this is something that a lot of motivational speakers say in order to encourage people to tap into some kind of a latent potential. But anatomically speaking, this is not correct, because if you do a brain scan measuring the electrical activity in your brain, you do not find some large unused or dormant areas in your skull waiting for you to be used. To assert the same point, one can say that you have not used your brain in a proper way, reflecting the amount of cognitive effort you have put in to do a task. Reading in the dark or sitting close to the TV ruins your eyesight. Watching TV from a close range or studying in dim light will probably give you a headache because they make your eyes work hard, but there is no evidence that it will cause a long-term damage. This myth was started probably in 1960s when those TVs actually emitted a lot of radiation, and it might have been true back then, but these days the kind of TVs you get, this problem is largely eradicated. If someone in your family is sitting so close to the TV that it's hurting their eyes, you should probably get them checked for glasses. Sitting close to the TV does not create a need for glasses, but having short-sightedness can create the need to go and sit near TV to watch it. And when you get glasses to correct your vision, this habit will probably go away. Myth number 4. Fingernails and hair continue to grow after death. This was something a lot of physicians could not disprove back then, but now we know that nails and hair do not actually grow after death. And why they look more prominent is because the soft tissue including the skin is retracted back after death, and because it gets dehydrated, this makes nails and even hair look more prominent and makes you think that they are probably growing. Myth number 5. Pulling out one grey hair will cause more to grow in its place. Now this is something that I have heard a lot, but this is not true. The reason why hair turns grey is because the pigment cells within the hair follicle die. Now if you pull that hair off, a new hair will come in its place which will also be grey. But for the surrounding hairs to turn grey, the pigment cells of those hair follicles should also die. But they will not die by pulling out a hair. So should you continue to pluck grey hairs? Probably not. If there is a grey hair that's bothering you, you should carefully cut it off, because pulling it out again and again will cause repeated trauma and this can lead to infection. If any of this was interesting or helpful, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Stay healthy, stay safe. Goodbye. Until next time.